Jia Kim sat in the university library, her eyes fixed on her physics textbook. The room was quiet. Only the sound of turning pages broke the silence. Jia tucked her long black hair behind her ear and sighed. Her final exams were next week. The first boom shook the building. Books fell from shelves. Students looked up, confused. "Earthquake?" someone asked. The second boom was louder. The lights flickered and went out. Everyone rushed to the windows. Jia pushed through the crowd. What she saw made her heart stop. Massive dark ships hung in the sky over Seoul. They were like nothing she had ever seen. Each one was the size of 10 football fields. "Aliens," whispered a boy next to her. "Real aliens." As they watched, smaller ships dropped from the big ones. They shot beams of blue light. Buildings crumbled. Fires spread across the city. Jia's phone rang. It was her mother. "Jia, are you safe?" Her mother's voice shook with fear. "I'm at the library. What's happening?" "I don't know. Strange ships." The call cut off. "Mom. Mom." Jia tried calling back. Nothing. Panic filled the room. Students ran for the exits. Jia ran too, her only thought to reach her family. Their house was 20 minutes away by bus. But no buses were running now. She ran through streets filled with scared people. The alien ships moved slowly across the sky, destroying everything in their path. Jia's neighborhood was in ruins when she arrived. Houses were broken like toys. Fires burned everywhere. Her family's home was half gone. The roof caved in. "Mom. Dad. Ta," she called, climbing over broken walls. No one answered. She found her father first, under a fallen beam. His eyes were open but saw nothing. Near him was her mother, her body crushed by a collapsed wall. Jia fell to her knees, unable to believe what she was seeing. "Ta," she whispered, remembering her little brother. "Ta." She searched the ruins, calling his name. She found his hand sticking out from under a pile of concrete. It was still warm. Jia dug with her bare hands until they bled, but it was too late. Ta, only 12 years old, was gone. Jia sat in the ruins of her home, surrounded by her dead family. Tears ran down her face. Around her, the city burned. The ships continued their slow, deadly path across Seoul. Hours passed. Night fell. The ships lit up the darkness with their blue beams. Jia finally stood. She had to move. She had to survive. She grabbed a backpack from her ruined room. She filled it with what she could find. A water bottle, some snack bars, a flashlight. She took a photo of her family from the broken frame on the wall and put it in her pocket. As she walked away from her home, a sound made her freeze. A low hum came from behind a fallen wall. Jia held her breath. Something moved. It wasn't human. It was tall, with gray skin that looked like metal. It had 4 arms and no face, just a smooth surface where a face should be. One of its arms held a strange weapon. It was one of them. An alien. A killer. Jia's body shook with fear. She wanted to run, but her legs wouldn't move. The alien turned, sensing her. It raised its weapon. In that moment, something changed in Jia. Fear turned to rage. These creatures had taken everything from her. They had killed her family, destroyed her home, ruined her world. The alien moved toward her. Jia saw a broken metal pipe on the ground. She grabbed it and swung with all her strength. The pipe hit the alien's arm. The weapon fell. The alien made a high-pitched sound. Jia grabbed the weapon. It was heavy and strange in her hands. The alien lunged at her. Without thinking, Jia pressed what looked like a trigger. A blue light shot out. The alien fell, a smoking hole in its chest. Jia stood over the dead creature, the alien weapon in her hands. Her tears had stopped. Her hands no longer shook. They could be killed. These monsters could die, and she would make them pay. 6 months passed. The world had changed. The aliens, who called themselves the Dracs, now ruled Earth. They set up big metal buildings called processing centers in every major city. Humans were taken there to be sorted. The strong ones were sent to work. The weak ones disappeared. Jia lived in the old subway tunnels below Seoul with other survivors. The tunnels were dark and cold, but they were safe from the Drax patrols that roamed the streets above. Jia was different now. Her once long hair was cut short. Her soft hands had become rough and strong. The alien weapon she had taken that first night was always at her side. She had learned how to use it well. "Going hunting again?" asked Soo-jae, a former police officer who had become Jia's closest friend. Soo-jae was tough and smart. She had taught Jia how to fight and how to survive. "Yes," Jia said. "We need more medicine." Soo-jae shook her head. "One day you won't come back." Jia didn't answer. She checked her weapon and climbed up the ladder that led to the street. Above ground, Seoul was a dead city. Buildings stood empty. Burned cars lined the streets. Drax ships still hung in the sky, but smaller now. The Drax had won. They didn't need to destroy anymore. They just needed to control. Jia moved from shadow to shadow. She knew how to avoid the Drax patrols. She had done this many times before. The Drax called her the Ghost Girl. They never saw her coming. She would attack their patrols, steal their supplies, and vanish back into the ruins of the city. Tonight, her target was a small Drax medical station. The aliens had strange medicines that could heal almost any wound. Jia's people needed them. As she neared the station, she saw something unusual. A human man was entering the building. This was strange. Humans never worked with the Drax willingly. Jia followed him. The man was old, with gray hair and glasses. He moved quickly for his age. Inside the station, Jia watched from behind a broken wall as the man took samples of Drax medicine and put them in his bag. "He's stealing too," she whispered to herself. Suddenly, a Drax patrol entered the building. 3 tall aliens with weapons drawn. The old man didn't run. He turned to face them. "I was just leaving," he said calmly. The lead Drax raised its weapon. "Human presence unauthorized. Prepare for processing." Jia had to act fast. She aimed her weapon and fired. The first Drax fell. The others turned toward her, but too late. 2 more shots, 2 more dead aliens. The old man didn't seem surprised. He looked at Jia with curious eyes. "The Ghost Girl, I presume," he said. "I've heard stories about you." "Who are you?" Jia asked, keeping her weapon aimed at him. "My name is Hyun Park. I was a scientist before the invasion. Now I work with the resistance." Resistance? Jia hadn't heard of any organized resistance. "Yes, we have a base outside the city. We're studying Drax technology, looking for weaknesses. We could use someone with your skills." Jia didn't trust him. "How do I know you're not working for them?" Before Hyun could answer, more Drax entered the building. Too many to fight. Jia and Hyun ran for the back exit. Shots of blue light passed close to their heads. Outside, they ran through dark streets. The Drax followed. Jia led Hyun to a hidden entrance to the subway tunnels. They climbed down just as the Drax patrol passed overhead. In the safety of the tunnels, Jia took Hyun to their camp. Other survivors gathered around, curious about the newcomer. Soo-jae pulled Jia aside. "Who is he?" "He says there's a resistance," Jia said. "A real one, with a base and everything." Soo-jae looked suspicious. "And you believe him?" Before Jia could answer, shouts came from the tunnel entrance. Drax voices. Somehow, they had found the camp. "Everyone move." Soo-jae yelled. "To the emergency exit." Chaos erupted. People grabbed what they could and ran deeper into the tunnels. Jia helped the children. The Drax were getting closer. As they reached the emergency exit, blue lights filled the tunnel behind them. The Drax had arrived. "Go!" Soo-jae pushed Jia toward the exit. "I'll hold them off." "No." Jia tried to stay, but Hyun pulled her away. "She's giving us a chance," he said. Don't waste it. The last thing Jia saw was Suji firing at the approaching Drax. Then the tunnel collapsed between them. Jia felt the same empty feeling she had felt when she lost her family. Another person she cared about was gone. If your resistance is real, she told Hyun, her voice hard with anger, then I want in. I want to make them pay. All of them. 1 year had passed since the Drax took over Earth. In an old mining complex outside Seoul, the resistance had made their base. Underground tunnels kept them hidden from Drax ships flying overhead. Jia walked through the main tunnel. It was busy with people. Some cleaned weapons, others sorted food and supplies. Everyone had a job. Jia's job was to help Hyun understand Drax technology. Any progress? She asked, entering Hyun's lab. The room was filled with alien devices they had stolen from Drax patrols. Hyun looked up from a strange metal box with glowing parts. Yes, actually. Come look at this. Jia sat next to him. With her background in physics, she could understand some of what Hyun explained. I think this is how they talk to each other, Hyun said. Not with sound, but with brain signals. Like telepathy? Jia asked. Similar, but using technology. All Drax seemed connected to each other somehow. A tall man entered the lab. This was Do-Won Lee, leader of the field missions. He had been a soldier before the invasion. His face was hard, with a scar across his right cheek. Jia, we're going out tonight, Do-Won said. We need more Drax tech. Get ready. Jia nodded. Do-Won didn't like her much. He thought she took too many risks, but he respected her fighting skills. As Do-Won left, a young boy ran into the lab. This was Min, a 13-year-old genius who had escaped from a processing center 3 months ago. Dr. Hyun, Jia, I found something. Min's eyes were wide with excitement. I was studying the Drax helmet we got last week. I think the Drax are all connected to one big brain. What do you mean? Hyun asked. They're like a hive, Min explained. Like bees or ants, they get orders from a central mind. This was big news. If the Drax were connected, maybe they could be disconnected too. That night, Jia went with Do-Won and 4 others on a mission. Their target was a small Drax outpost, where they hoped to find more communication devices. Stay close and follow the plan, Do-Won told Jia as they approached the outpost. No lone wolf actions this time. Jia didn't answer. She was thinking about Suja. Was she really dead? Or had the Drax taken her to a processing center? Jia hadn't stopped wondering for the past 6 months. The mission started well. They took out the guards silently and entered the outpost. Jia and Do-Won went to the main room to collect technology while the others kept watch. Take these, Do-Won said, handing Jia strange-looking metal cylinders. Hurry. Jia put the cylinders in her bag. Then she saw a computer-like device in the corner. It had symbols like the ones at the entrance to the processing center she had seen in the city. Wait, she told Do-Won. I want to check something. Before he could stop her, Jia went to the device. She had learned some Drax symbols from Hyun. She pressed what she thought was the search button. What are you doing? Do-Won hissed. We need to leave. I'm looking for Suji, Jia said. If she was processed, she'd be in their system. Do-Won grabbed her arm. This isn't the mission. You're putting us all at risk. Jia ignored him. She typed Suji's name as best she could in Drax symbols. No results. Suji wasn't in any processing center. But something else caught Jia's eye. A file with a symbol Hyun had translated as harvest. She opened it. What she saw made her blood freeze. Images of human brains, diagrams showing Drax machines connected to human heads, notes in Drax language. They're taking human brains, Jia whispered. What? Do-Won looked at the screen. Not just using humans for work. They're taking our brains for their machines. An alarm sounded. They had been discovered. Now we run, Do-Won said. They raced through the outpost. Drax soldiers were coming from all directions. The other team members were already fighting. Shots of blue light filled the air. They fought their way out, but 2 of their team didn't make it. As they ran into the forest surrounding the outpost, Jill's mind raced with what she had seen. The Dracs weren't just conquerors. They were harvesters, and humans were their crop. Back at the base, Jia told Hyun and Min what she had discovered. That explains the processing centers, Hyun said. They're not just labor camps. They're farms, human farms. Min looked sick. He had been in a processing center. They were scanning our heads, testing us. Jia's hands formed fists. We need to find a way to stop them, not just hide and steal. Really stop them. With what? Do-Won asked. They have ships and armies. We have 50 people and some stolen guns. Min's eyes lit up. But we have a new idea. If they share one mind, maybe we can poison it. 18 months after the invasion, hope finally came to the resistance. Min and Hyun had been working day and night on a special weapon. Today, they were ready to show it. This is it, Hyun said, holding up a small metal device. It looked like a thick disc with buttons on one side. We call it the breaker. Everyone gathered around. Ja, Do-Won, and 20 other resistance fighters looked at the small device with doubt. It doesn't look like much, Do-Won said. Min smiled. Big things come in small packages. The boy had grown taller in the past 6 months, but he was still small for his age. This uses the Dracs' own technology against them. Hyun explained how it worked. The Dracs are all connected to each other through a network in their minds. This device sends out a special sound wave that humans can't hear, but it breaks the Dracs' connection. It makes them confused and weak. For how long? Ja asked. About 3 minutes, Min said. Not long, but enough to gain an advantage. The only problem, Hyun added, is that it only works at close range. You have to be within 10 meters of a Drax. Do-Won frowned. That's a suicide mission. No one can get that close without being killed. I can, Jia said. Everyone looked at her. I gotten close to them before. I'll test it. Do-Won shook his head. No, it's too dangerous. We don't have a choice, Jia said. And I'm the best at moving unseen. Later that day, Do-Won found Jia cleaning her weapon. I'm coming with you, he said. Jia looked up in surprise. Why? Because you'll get yourself killed if you go alone. Jia wanted to argue, but she knew he was right. The mission would be safer with 2 people. Fine, she said, but we do it my way. The next night, they left for their mission. The target was a small Drax patrol near a processing center. The plan was simple. Get close, use the breaker, then test if the Drax became weak enough to defeat easily. They moved through the dark streets of what was once a busy shopping area. Now it was empty and broken. The processing center loomed ahead, a tall metal building with strange lights. There, Ja whispered, pointing to 3 Drax soldiers walking slowly down the street. They followed the patrol, staying in the shadows. When the Drax stopped to check an abandoned store, Jia and Do-Won moved closer. Now, Jia said when they were 10 meters away. She pressed the button on the breaker. Nothing seemed to happen at first. Then one of the Dracs dropped its weapon. Another fell to its knees. The third looked around in confusion. It works, Do-Won whispered. They attacked quickly. With the Dracs confused and slow, they were easy to defeat. In less than a minute, all 3 were dead. We should go back now, Do-Won said. Mission complete. But Jia was looking at the processing center. We're so close. We should look inside. That wasn't the plan, Do-Won argued. Plans change, Jia said, already moving toward the building. Do-Won cursed but followed her. They found a side door unlocked. Inside, the air smelled strange, like a hospital but worse. They moved through dark hallways. Strange sounds came from behind closed doors. Moans and cries that didn't sound human anymore. Then they found the main room. Rows of tables filled the space, On each table was a human, strapped down, with machines attached to their heads. Tubes ran from their bodies to large containers. "They're draining them," Ja whispered, feeling sick, taking their brains bit by bit. Do-One grabbed her arm. "We need to leave. Now." But as they turned to go, they saw a tall Drax in the doorway. This one was different. It wore a red mark on its chest. The leader. Gia reached for the breaker, but the Drax was faster. It fired its weapon. Do-One pushed Gia aside and took the hit in his shoulder. He fell hard. Gia fired back, hitting the Drax in the leg. It stumbled but didn't fall. She pressed the breaker again. The Drax shook its head, confused for a moment. Gia fired again, hitting it in the chest. This time it fell. She ran to Do-One. His shoulder was badly burned. "Can you walk?" she asked. "I think so," he said through gritted teeth. She helped him up. More Drax would come soon. They had to hurry. As they escaped the processing center, alarms began to sound. They ran through the streets, Do-One getting weaker with each step. "Leave me," he said. "I'll slow you down." Gia looked at him. For months, he had been cold to her, critical of her actions. Now he was willing to sacrifice himself for her. "No," she said firmly. "We both go home, or neither of us does." She put his arm around her shoulders and kept going. For the first time in 18 months, Gia was not willing to lose someone else she cared about. 2 years had passed since the Drax came to Earth. The resistance had grown stronger. With the breaker weapon, they had won many small battles against the Drax. Word spread to other resistance groups across Korea. Soon, everyone was making their own breakers. Gia and Do-One led most missions together now. After he recovered from his wound, something had changed between them. They still argued, but there was trust there too. Maybe even something more. "We got a message from the Seoul group," Do-One told Gia one morning. They sat in the command room of the base, looking at maps. They found something big. "What is it?" Gia asked. "A special Drax ship landed yesterday. They think an important Drax leader is on it. Someone who controls the harvest." Gia's eyes narrowed. The harvest was what the Drax called their collection of human brains. "We need to stop them." Hyun joined them, with Min right behind him. The boy was 15 now, tall and thin. "If we can capture this leader, we might learn how to defeat all the Drax," Hyun said. "Or kill it and send a message," Gia added. Do-One nodded. "We'll need both our teams and all the breakers we have." They planned the mission carefully. The Drax leader would be traveling from the landing site to the main processing center. They would attack the convoy on the road. That night, 20 resistance fighters hid in the ruins along the road. Gia checked her weapon for the 10th time. Do-One knelt beside her. "Nervous?" he asked. "No," she lied. He almost smiled. "Me too." Min's voice came through their radio. He and Hyun were in a building across the road. "Convoy coming. 6 vehicles. The leader is in the middle one." "Everyone ready," Do-One said into his radio. "Wait for my signal." The Drax vehicles came into view. They moved slowly, with guards walking alongside. In the middle was a larger vehicle, black and smooth. "Now," Do-One shouted. All at once, the resistance fighters activated their breakers. The Drax guards stumbled and dropped their weapons. The attack began. It was chaos. Shots fired from both sides. The resistance fighters moved in, taking down confused Drax soldiers. Gia and Do-One led a group toward the main vehicle. But something was wrong. The Drax were recovering too quickly. They were fighting back with skill, not confusion. "The breakers aren't working right," someone shouted. A Drax soldier aimed at Do-One. Gia shot it down. More came from behind a building. It was like they knew the attack was coming. "It's a trap," Do-One yelled. "Fall back." Too late. Drax soldiers surrounded them from all sides. Half the resistance fighters were already down. Jia saw Hyun dragging Min to safety. "Run," Jia shouted to Do-won. "I'll cover you." She fired at the approaching Drax, giving the others time to escape. Do-won grabbed her arm. "Not without you." They ran together toward a broken building. More Drax were coming. They wouldn't make it. Then Jia saw her, a human woman walking with the Drax soldiers. Her movements were stiff, like a robot. But her face, Jia knew that face. "Suji?" Jia whispered. Suji turned toward her. Her eyes were empty. Something metal was attached to the back of her head. She raised a Drax weapon and pointed it at Jia. "Suji, it's me," Jia cried. For a moment, something flickered in Suji's eyes. Recognition. Pain. She lowered the weapon slightly. "Run," Suji said, her voice strange and mechanical. "Find the source." Then she turned and fired at a Drax soldier instead, giving Jia and Do-won a chance to escape. No. Jia tried to go back for her friend, but Do-won pulled her away. "She's giving us a chance," he said, just like before. They ran as Suji was surrounded by Drax soldiers. The last Jia saw, they were forcing Suji to her knees. Back at the base, only 12 fighters returned. 8 were dead or captured. The mood was dark. "They knew we were coming," Do-won said. "Someone told them." "Suji," Jia said quietly. "She was with them, but not by choice. They did something to her mind." Hyun looked grim. "Mind control. We've heard rumors about that." "She fought it, at the end," Jia said. "She told me to find the source." Min, who had been quiet until now, looked up. The source, maybe that's what controls all Drax. The center of their hive mind. Jia felt a new fire inside her. Suji had given them a clue, maybe even a way to win. And she had paid for it. "If there's a source," Jia said, "we're going to find it. And destroy it." The resistance base was quiet. Many rooms stood empty now. After the failed mission, more fighters had left to join other groups. Only the most loyal remained. Jia sat alone in the command room, looking at maps of Seoul. Somewhere in that broken city was Suji. Somewhere was the source. Jia had to find both. Do-won entered, carrying 2 cups of hot tea. "You should sleep," he said, sitting next to her. "I can't," Jia said, taking the cup. "Every time I close my eyes, I see Suji." "We'll find her," Do-won promised. Min burst into the room, his face bright with excitement. "I did it. I figured it out." Hyun followed behind him, looking pleased. "Min has been working with the Drax communication device we captured last month," he explained. Min spread papers on the table. They were covered with strange symbols and drawings. "I decoded more of their language," he said. "The source is real. It's a central control station for all Drax on Earth." "Where is it?" Jia asked. Min pointed to a spot on the map. "Their main ship, the one that hangs over Seoul." Do-won frowned. "That's impossible to reach. It's in the air, heavily guarded." "We have to try," Jia said. "If we destroy the source, we might free everyone they control, including Suji." For 3 days, they planned. The main Drax ship never landed, but smaller ships went up and down from a docking station. If they could capture one of these smaller ships, they might reach the main ship. As they prepared for this dangerous mission, something unexpected happened. A patrol team brought in a captured Drax soldier. This one was different. It had yellow markings instead of the usual blue. "It surrendered," the patrol leader said. "It didn't even fight back." Hyun and Min studied the strange Drax. Using a translation device Min had built, they tried to communicate with it. To everyone's surprise, the Drax responded. Its words came through the translator in a flat, mechanical voice. "Not all Drax agree with Harvest," it said. "Some believe humans are worthy of life." Jia didn't trust it. "Why should we believe you?" "Because I can help you reach the source," the Drax replied. The resistance fighters argued late into the night. Some thought it was a trap. Others believe this could be their only chance to reach the main ship. I think we should trust it, Min said. This Drax is different. It could have killed the patrol but didn't. Or maybe it's leading us into another trap, Ja argued. Do-One, who had been quiet, finally spoke. We need to take risks to win. I say we use its help, but carefully. In the end, they agreed. The Drax, which called itself ally in human speech, told them many secrets. There were others like it, rebels against the main Drax leadership. They believed the harvest was wrong. Our leaders say it is necessary, Ally explained. They say our race needs fresh minds to continue, but many of us think this is evil. Ally showed them how to access the main ship. There was a smaller entrance, used by maintenance workers. It was less guarded. But the source is deep inside, Ally warned. Many guards. Very dangerous. We've faced dangerous before, Jia said. They prepared for the mission. Jia, Do-One, Min, and Hyun would go, along with Ally. They would take all remaining breakers and weapons. The night before they left, Do-One found Jia on the roof of the base, looking at the stars. Are you afraid? He asked. Yes, Jia admitted. Not of dying. I've been ready for that since the day they killed my family. I'm afraid of failing, of not saving Suji. Do-One took her hand. It was the first time he had done this. Whatever happens tomorrow, you've given people hope. You showed us we could fight back. Jia turned to him. In his eyes, she saw something she hadn't seen in anyone's eyes for a long time. Not pity or respect or fear, something warmer. We should get some rest, she said softly. Tomorrow we face the source. As they walked back inside, Jia felt a strange mix of emotions. Fear, yes. Determination, always. But also something new, something she had thought died with her family 2 years ago. Hope. The next day, Ally took Jia and her team to meet other rebel Drax. They walked through abandoned subway tunnels, places Jia once knew well. Ally moved differently than other Drax, less stiff, more natural. How many of you are there? Jia asked. 123 on Earth, Ally replied through Min's translation device. More on other worlds. This surprised everyone. Other worlds? Hyun asked. You've done this before. Ally's smooth face turned to them. Drax have taken 17 planets, harvested many species, but each time more Drax join our rebellion. They arrived at an old train station. 6 more Drax with yellow markings waited there. Jia felt strange standing among aliens who had destroyed her world, even if these ones claimed to be different. These are my unit brothers, Ally said. They will help us reach the source. The rebel Drax had made detailed maps of the main ship. They spread these on the floor. The source is here. One rebel Drax pointed to the center of the ship. It is guarded by 20 elite soldiers and the commander. Who is the commander? Do-One asked. The leader of all Drax on Earth, Ally explained. Very powerful, very cruel. They made a plan. Do-One would lead a group of human fighters and rebel Drax to attack the ship's lower levels. This would draw guards away from the source. Meanwhile, Jia, Min, Hyun, and Ally would sneak in through a service tunnel and reach the central chamber. What does the source look like? Jia asked. Like a crystal, Ally said. A big crystal that glows purple. It connects all Drax minds together. And if we destroy it? Hyun asked. All Drax lose connection. Become confused. Easy to defeat. That night, they gathered their weapons. The mission would begin at dawn. Jia checked her gun and the special bombs Hyun had made to destroy the source. Min looked nervous. At 15, he was too young for such danger. But they needed his skills with Drax technology. You don't have to come, Jia told him. Min shook his head. I want to. I need to. Do-One joined them, carrying extra weapons. Everyone ready. They nodded. No one mentioned that they might not return. They all knew the risk. At dawn, they approached the docking station where small ships went up to the main Drax vessel. Rebel Drax led the way, using secret paths to avoid patrols. The docking station was a tall metal tower. Small ships moved up and down like elevators. Allie pointed to one small ship on the ground. That one. Maintenance ship. Less security. 2 Drax guards stood by the ship. Rebel Drax moved forward and spoke to them in their language. The guards seemed confused by the yellow markings. Before they could act, the rebels attacked, taking down the guards without noise. "Hurry," Allie said. "More will come soon." They boarded the small ship. The inside was strange, with seats made for the tall Drax bodies. Allie sat at the controls and started the engine. The ship rose smoothly into the air. Through the window, Ja watched the ground fall away. She had never flown before. Seoul looked small below them, its buildings broken like toys. As they approached the main ship, Jia felt fear rise in her throat. The ship was huge, like a metal city in the sky. This was the heart of the enemy, the place where it all began 2 years ago. "They're signaling us," Allie said, asking for identification. Min worked quickly with his device, sending fake signals back. "I think it's working," he said. The ship continued upward. No alarms sounded. They were going to make it. Then a loud beep came from the control panel. Allie pressed buttons quickly. "They're suspicious, ordering us to stop." "What now?" Hyun asked. "We go faster," Allie said, pushing the controls forward. The ship shot upward. Alarms blared. They were discovered. "Plan has changed," Allie said. "We fight our way in." They reached the bottom of the main ship. A door opened, letting them inside. But as soon as they landed, Drax soldiers surrounded them. "Stay in the ship," Do-Won told Jua. "We'll clear a path." Do-Won, the rebel Drax, and the human fighters rushed out, firing their weapons. Drax soldiers fell, but more came. "Now," Do-Won shouted, "go for the source." Jia, Min, Hyun, and Ally ran from the ship. They followed Ally through service tunnels, climbing upward toward the center of the ship. Behind them, the sounds of fighting faded. Ja hoped Do-Won would be okay. They had to keep moving forward. To the source. To Suji. To the end of this war. Alarms blared throughout the Drax ship. Red lights flashed in the narrow corridors. Ja, Min, Hyun, and Ally ran through service tunnels, climbing higher toward the center of the ship. "How much farther?" Jia asked, breathing hard. 2 more levels, Ally said. "The source chamber is at the heart of the ship." They reached a locked door. Min connected his device to the control panel. His fingers moved quickly over the buttons. "Almost got it," he said. The door slid open. They entered a wide hallway. The walls were smooth metal, glowing with soft blue light. It was beautiful in a cold, alien way. "This way," Ally pointed. Suddenly, 3 Drax soldiers appeared ahead. They'd raised their weapons. Ja and Hyun fired first, taking down 2. The third shot back. Ally pushed Min out of the way and took the hit in its shoulder. Blue fluid leaked from the wound. "Are you okay?" Ja asked. "Yes," Ally said. "Keep moving." They continued upward. The sounds of fighting echoed from below. Do-Won and the others were still holding off the Drax soldiers. Ja hoped they were alive. Finally, they reached a large door marked with special symbols. "The source chamber," Ally said. Min worked on the door lock while the others kept watch. The door slowly opened. Inside was a vast, round room. In the center stood a massive crystal, glowing purple. It pulsed with light, like a heartbeat. All around it were strange machines, and connected to these machines were humans. "Suji," Jia cried. Suji hung in a metal frame, tubes connected to her head. Her eyes were open but empty. Next to her were dozens of other humans, all in the same state. "What are they doing to them?" Jia asked. her voice shaking. The final harvest, Alla explained. They are taking the humans' minds, adding them to the Drax network. Hyun examined the machines. We need to shut this down before we destroy the source. If we just blow it up, it might kill everyone connected to it. Min joined him, looking at the control panels. I think I can reverse the process. Instead of taking from the humans, we can make it take from the Drax. Jia moved to Suja. Her friend's face was thin and pale. Hold on, Jia whispered. We're going to save you. A deep voice filled the room. You will save no one. They turned. A tall Drax stood in the doorway. It was larger than the others, with a red mark across its chest. Behind it were 6 elite guards. The commander, Ally said. The commander stepped forward. Traitor, it said to Ally. You betray your own kind for these lesser beings. You are the traitor, Ally replied. You betray what Drax should be. The commander raised its weapon. Hyun stepped in front of Min, protecting the boy. The weapon fired. Hyun fell. No, Min cried. Jia fired at the commander. The shot hit its armor but did no damage. Ali attacked the guards, fighting with surprising strength despite its wound. Min, Jia called. Keep working on the machine. It's our only chance. Min wiped tears from his face and returned to the control panel. Jia fired again and again, keeping the commander back. Ali fought bravely, taking down 2 guards before a shot tore through its chest. Ali looked at Jia one last time, then fell. Jia was alone now, facing the commander and 4 remaining guards. Her weapon was almost empty. This was the end. Then she had an idea. A desperate, crazy idea. Min, she called. Can you reverse the flow right now? Make the source connect to me instead. Yes, but Jia, it could kill you. Do it. Min worked frantically at the controls. The commander moved closer to Jia. Your species is finished, it said. The harvest will continue. Not today, Jia said. She dropped her weapon and ran to the source. As the commander fired, she touched the crystal. Pain shot through her body. Her mind exploded with a million voices. For a moment, Jia saw everything. All Drax, all humans, all connected. She felt the cold hunger of the Drax leaders. She felt the pain of harvested humans. And she felt the doubt of many Drax, their growing belief that the harvest was wrong. With all her strength, with all her rage for her family, for Suji, for Earth, Jia pushed her thoughts through the network. She showed the Drax her pain, her loss, her humanity. The commander fell to its knees, overwhelmed by the connection. Min completed the reversal. The machines began to disconnect from the humans. Suji's eyes cleared. She looked at Jia and truly saw her. Now, Jia called to Min. The bombs. Min placed Hyun's bombs around the source. They had 30 seconds. Jia helped Sujai stand. Min supported Hyun, who was badly wounded but alive. They ran from the chamber as the countdown began. Behind them, the source exploded. The ship shook. All around them, Drax soldiers collapsed, disconnected from their hive mind. They made it to the lower levels, where they found Du-1, injured but fighting. Together, they escaped to a small ship as the main vessel began to fall from the sky. As they flew away, Jia looked back. The massive Drax ship crashed into the empty center of Seoul. The symbol of Earth's pain was now the symbol of its freedom. It's over, Suji said weakly. Jia took her friend's hand. Yes, it's finally over. The small ship flew over the ruins of the city. For the first time in 2 years, the sky was clear. And somewhere below, people were looking up, seeing not fear, but hope.